ballroom here on the third floor of the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte. We will spend about 7 or 8 minutes with head coach Kevin Keatts, and then we will rotate to our student athletes. Coach, if you'd like to take the podium, we will start with our roving mics out into the room, and your first question will come second row to your right, young lady right here in the middle.
How are you doing today, Coach?
I am doing well. I don't see you, but
I'm right here.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm well. I'm Destiny Vance with the Juice Network. My question is, after last season's appearance in the Final Four, has there been any major changes within the team to ensure success of another Final Four appearance and the possibility of a championship?
So I pride myself in not changing and being the same coach that I've been, meaning before the Final Four run, being culture-wise and everything else. The one thing that I will tell you about our guys, and starting with JT and also Michael, is we've got 8 new dudes, but they've done a good job of really pushing our culture on the new guys, and I think that's important. We lost some really good pieces, but we've got 3 guys that played a lot of minutes, those 2 guys and Ben, and the one thing that I've asked them to is teach the other guys how to compete and play hard. It's my job to teach them this system, and that's winning and losing and running plays and everything else. But the biggest part of it is we play so hard, and I think that's one of the things that we have to show the new guys that's coming in, how hard we compete every day.
Coach, just to her right, your left, right there at the end of the row.
Hello, Coach. Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Coach, how have you been able to get the 8 new guys to buy into your identity and culture at NC State after your Final Four run?
Well, I don't know if anybody can see you, but somebody get a picture of it, man. That's some big-time hair you got right there. So you're going to have to repeat that question because I lost it when I saw your hair. I was like, man, and I'm jealous because mine can no longer get that longer, so I don't know. Say that again. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Coach, the 8 new guys that you've brought into your program, how have you been able to get them to buy into your culture and identity at NC State?
We've talked about competing every day. These guys will tell you everything that we do has a consequence, and we have a lot of games that we play in our practice. That being said, you win, you win. If you lose, then obviously you have to run. And, one of the things that we want to do is we've got to build a winning culture. I think we did a really good job, assistant coaches going out and getting guys in the transfer portal and then the young guys that we have in our program. But we have a standard of how hard we compete. Might not win every game at the beginning, but the way we play is different. And so we talked about you can't take practices off. We don't have but 30 practices total in that 42-day window that they give us. And so during that time, we don't have the ability to waste any practices. So we want guys to get better from practice to practice.
Coach, to your left, all the way against the wall, Kevin Corey Smith with Pack Pride on 24/7 Sports. I wanted to ask you specifically, Jim Phillips earlier today said that he felt like part of the issue for the ACC has been the fact that the brands of the ACC and sometimes across college basketball get overlooked or get all of the publicity, while when some teams like yourself or others are the stronger teams in the conference, it may be looked at as a weakness of the conference. What are your thoughts on that, and do you feel like that has led to the ACC getting overlooked when it comes to NCAA tournament time?
I think it's several things. I'm very disappointed at the amount of teams that we have gotten into the tournament. And it doesn't really make sense because when our teams do get in the tournament, we perform well. Example, the number 10 seed goes to the Final Four, which is us in the ACC. The reason why we're going to the Final Four is because we have a great conference and we're battle tested. I think there's a couple, things that we've got to do as coaches in our league is, for whatever reason, the committee, the particular committees in the last 3 years have put a lot of emphasis on November and December. As a conference, we have to try to go out and schedule better in November and December. If that's going to be a major criteria as far as how many teams we get in there, it's a little frustrating because you're playing 20 ACC games, and those 20 games are pretty tough. I would invite anybody outside of our conference to come and play in any of our home venues. They're tough to play in. I hope that we have a great November and December where they can no longer use your non-conference against you. And I think that's been one of our biggest issues is our non-conference has, according to the talking heads, hadn't been great. The last thing I would say about it is that, I think we lost some really unique Hall of Famers that have been into our conference over the years, and I think everybody's kind of taking that for granted, and I think we're getting a little bit punished because we don't have the Hall of Fame coaches in our leagues as we did in the past, and hopefully they forget about that. They were great coaches and everything else, but we've got a great league, and we should be getting, in my opinion, 9 or 10 teams into the conference, into the tournament every single year.
Coach, thank you. You can swap spaces with Michael. Michael O'Connell will be with us for a couple of minutes. If you would, please identify yourselves and the agency that you are with. Michael, your first question, front row, right in front of you to the right.
Michael, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Coach talking about, obviously, some of those guys from last season's run no longer with the team. So who have you seen on the rise in the pack that you believe is really going to step up this season and create potentially another strong season?
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to really pinpoint one player at this point. We've had a lot of good guys come in, and they're all proving themselves each day. Every guy's getting better. I would say Dontre Styles has really been performing every day. I would say at a high level, offensively and defensively, rebounding. So just all aspects of the game, he's been playing super well. Brandon, our big man, has been playing super well too. Obviously, the guards, Marcus, Trey, and everyone else. It's really hard to pinpoint one guy who's going to be super helpful throughout the season. I think everyone's going to contribute at different levels and, help us win some games.
Michael, to your right, third row, gentleman in the white shirt.
Hi, Michael. TJ from the Sports Nerd Podcast. With the likes of DJ Burns and DJ Horn being gone, I know you've had to really step into that leadership role. Can you talk about stepping into that leader role as well as leading the new young guys that have come in to this program?
Yeah, I'd say just being a point guard, you kind of have to be more vocal and try to be a leader on the floor. Obviously, you're running plays and trying to help guys be in the right spot and talk through things on defense. So I think, you just kind of have to be a leader in a sense or be at least vocal. And I think my voice has grown from when I first got here to this point. So I try to just continually be vocal, talk to guys, whether just helping them out, whether understanding things or just trying to be more comfortable with the team and the program. Especially with the new guys, is just the biggest things I've been in their shoes. I know how it is to be a new guy, be a transfer, and just help them understand. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to go well every day. It's going to be a struggle. And just being there if they ever need to ask questions, just need a guy to talk to.
Michael, to your left, fourth row, right in the middle.
Colby Trotter, technician. Michael, last year, over those 9 postseason games, you stepped up your game offensively. You shot 50% from three. Were there any changes that you made to your shot in particular for that, or is that just about getting more opportunities?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it necessarily changed anything. I think the biggest thing for me was just staying consistent throughout the whole year. A lot of times getting in the gym with Coach Justice and just working out, making sure no matter if I had a good game or a bad game, I was always in the gym the next day working out, getting shots up. So I think just throughout the whole year, kind of always getting those shots up, just the compounding days, compounding hours. Helped towards the end of the season. It's never going to happen over one game or one day of just getting shots up. But I think just continually putting my head down and continually working and just trying to get better every day, led to some good things at the end of the season.
Michael, back to your right with JT in the white shirt.
Michael, the shot that led to that huge post-game run, I'm talking about the one against UVA. Do you still get jitters from that moment? Do you ever, when you fall asleep, think about that moment?
I don't know about when I'm falling asleep, but
right.
it's definitely a cool moment when I see the video where people bring it up. It's something that I kind of get to relive a little bit in my head and talk to people about it, or just see the video and just kind of think about what was going on in that moment and what it's led to. So I'm definitely grateful for that moment, and it's definitely something I'll carry with me forever.
Michael, from the podium, last question. When you watch that video, do you ever think you're going to miss the shot?
Never. It's always going in, and thankfully I'm always right at the end of the video.
Michael, thank you. You can switch places with JT, folks. We will spend just a few minutes with Jayden Taylor. Once again, please identify yourselves and the agency that you are with. Jayden, we'll get your first one on the first row down front to your right.
Jayden, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. What is it about Coach Keatts' leadership style that has really spoken to you personally and brings the best out of you?
Yeah, I just say his confidence that he walks with and the joy that he comes in every day with, it just kind of inspires you to just play hard for somebody that can be so passionate about the game, you know. It's kind of like we're playing for him and, you know, all that he believes in us, so it just gives you a different type of level of confidence, you know, every day.
Stay on the right side, second row.
Right here, Destiny Vance with the Juice Network. My question to you is, with NC State being one of the 3 schools here in North Carolina, in the Triangle area specifically, can you talk about that rivalry with Duke and Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a competitive sport. We all want to be the best, and I feel like we kind of established ourselves this year as like a team that not to be looked over just because we're in a triangle with Duke and North Carolina. We're NC State, so I feel like that's just the attitude that we have too. Like we're here to play, we're here to compete.
Jayden will now go third row, right there in the middle.
Jeremy Grandison, ESPN Charlotte. Coach came up here, talked about the culture and identity with the new guys coming in. For you, what is the culture and identity of NC State?
Yeah, I say if you come to NC State, non-negotiables, playing hard and just, you know, talking every day and being confident. You can't come here if you're not going to play hard. That's one thing that Coach Keatts harps on every day is just at least just come out and compete. And I say that's really what the culture is, honestly. Just if you're not making shots, how can you impact the game in another way? How can you guard the ball, get deflections, rebound? I feel like just competing. That's the culture we built here.
Still on the same row, JT, just to your right.
TJ Wilkerson from the Sports Nerd Podcast. Jayden, with as great as you performed last year, with how highly active the transfer portal is, it would be easy to go that route after everybody leaving. So what is it about NC State that made you stay and say, I'm a Wolfpack till the end of time?
You know, like after doing something as special as we did with the guys that I came in with, it's like, why would you not want to come back and do the same thing over again? Like we won 5 games in 5 days. That's never been done. So it's like I want to come back and try to repeat and win the big thing this time.
Jayden, your last question to your right.
Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Jay, can you just talk about the importance that coaches pretty much made your team realize that, hey, the Final Four was last year, let's build on that and just keep building with momentum?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, what we did last year, that's last year. But carrying the momentum is going to be huge, you know. It did happen, so it's not like we can just say it's last year and just forget about it. Like, it happened, and it was a good thing. So we want to carry the momentum, and knowing it's a new year, we have new players, it's going to be a different story, new adversity. But it's like keeping your eyes, like, just ahead, you know. We didn't have a great, like, perfect season last year, but at the end, it all clicked at the right time. We kept our head down and just keep working.
Jayden, thank you. NC State, good luck this year.
Thank you.
Folks, Duke is due up